I'm Anita Owens. I've been a contactee all of my life. My first memory actually is a 3-month-old baby waking up and seeing 3 members of my star family at the crib. I was a conscious being like I am today. And I telepathically asked them, why did you put me in a body that I had no control over? I can't walk, I can't feed myself. Why did you put me in a body that is so little? I was not expecting that. And they said, we are your family, we will always be with you, you will always be protected and provided for. You will do many things for us, and the humans out there will take care of you until we tell you it's time to go, which is how it happened. So this is me, and anytime there's a picture taken of me, you're going to see the energy on the tree right there beside me. So that's kind of a vortex energy, and you can see a man's head popping through, and again, it's one of the members of my star family. So this is my star family playing with me. I am on my honeymoon, and above me you can see a heart-shaped ship, which is actually Pleiadian. This is me in the water, and I've actually had 6 near-death experiences, 2 of which are by drowning. And so whenever I'm in the water, they send double protection. It's like, she's in the water, go help. So these are some of my personal ships that I've been on. And this ship right here, you can see as it zooms in, a little alien gray face in the window. And to the left of the alien, you'll see the lizard-looking guy right there. It's not hard to see him at all. But they're all ships of light, which I call them ships of consciousness. This is an orb. This is something very different. Orbs are entities, they're beings, and their sole function, their sole responsibility is delivering communication. So when a group of people in one star system, one universe, one planet want to send a download of information, technology, to another star system, another planet, another universe, then that information is put into an orb. And so an orb flies directly to where it's supposed to be, and people who know how to use this technology can access this information. So when orbs aren't traveling with communication for the star beings, they love humans. They love playing with humans. That's why you'll see a lot of pictures of humans that have orbs around them. They tend to hang out more with humans who are psychically inclined or just high frequency. They like high vibrational frequencies. This is a Pleiadian ship that I travel in often. So I'm with the Pleiadians all the time, and the Pleiadian energy is always pink. So you'll see pink energy around me when they're standing beside me, and you'll see a pink propulsion field or a pink ship when they're down here in the trees, like you see right here. This ship is from Orion, and again, this ship is one that I personally ride on. So I'm showing you right now some personal ships, and the bright blue ships are Orion, and then the lighter muted blue ships are from Arcturus. Now this is an Arcturian ship, and the thing to know about this ship is it's a living light. It is an unnaturally bright light. What's interesting is like a white light and a blue light at the same time. It's like the blue light is inside the white light. You can tell that the light is a living being. It's a consciousness. And so when I come onto this ship, the ship consciousness connects with my consciousness, and all of the beings that are on the ship, we all become one. We're all consciously connected. And then there's a pulse, and I just call it a heartbeat, and all of our heartbeats are synced up. And it's our consciousness that actually pilots the ship. So when we take off, going through the stars, all of us together is what is the propulsion field of the ship. So it's literally a ship of consciousness. This is my house where I sit and do readings, and the chair is where I sit, and you can see a ship on the chair. So again, they are always with me. I'm never alone. Okay, so this is what I call a ferry ship. So in the middle, you can see basically the main ferry of the ship is in the center, and she's got a face where it comes down to a pointed chin. But if you look closely, you'll see lots of faces in the pastel colors that make up the ship. You'll see lots of other faces. So this is a ship basically transporting a group of fairies. There is the fairy ship over the trees, so the fairies are talking to the trees. Again, for every tree has a fairy, at least one, many times more. So again, this is another type of fairy, but this is a ship. When they fly without a ship and they fly with a ship. So it just depends on where they're headed and what they're doing. But you can see that it has more of a human face. Again, they're just little people. And throughout time, every culture almost all over the planet have stories about the little people. This is an elf. And this guy got my attention, and let me take a picture of him because he was very upset that the owner of this yard was spraying dandelion weed killer, which is very much a poison, and he wanted it to stop. So basically, elves, fairies, leprechauns, gnomes, sprites, glimps, it's all, think of it as elementals or nature spirits. So we have little people, little spirits that take care of nature all around us. Again, fairy in flight without the ship. This is just a single fairy right here. Now, we do not have any glowing insects in North America. And we do have lightning bugs, but their whole body doesn't glow. They just have a light that comes on and off. So this is an actual, and you can see the auric field around the fairy. Fairies take on many different shapes and sizes, and this is another type of fairy. And as you can see how brightly they glow, they are beings of light as well. Nature spirits are beings of light. I'm telepathic, and so I'm always constantly talking to the fairies, the elves, the gnomes, the glimps, all around us. And so that was a fairy in flight without the ship as well. Okay, so this is me calling in the ships, and the intent I had on this night was calling the ships in and then bringing them to a stop because I was wanting to make contact with the mothership, an Arcturian mothership, have the Arcturians come out for me. So this just is them flying in. You can see how the trajectory changes depending on the speed at which they're coming in, and then as they begin to slow down and come to a stop. Once they come to a stop, I ask for an Arcturian ship, which is blue, to show up and bring me a mothership. And the motherships have intelligent design. Right here, you can see the intelligent design. So when I see this, I know that there's a carrier ship out. So I'm asking for a carrier ship to attach and for the Arcturians to come out. So these are more with the colored ones like this is other star people. They all have a different color as if a signature. So it's a combination of orbs and star people. The bright orange is mantis. A lot of those are orbs. Now, right here is the carrier ship attached to the mothership. So you can see it has intelligent design. And when I take people out on a UFO tour, you really see how the ships will just attach to each other and then become like 3 or 4 ships. I asked the Arcturians to come out so that I could capture them. And here, meet the Arcturians. Now, Arcturians are masters at what I call a dimensional bleed through. So you can see the Arcturian there on the right at the edge of the screen. And if you look down in the bottom left-hand corner, I have a dimensional bleed through beginning to happen. And so third dimension, there's nothing there, but in the other dimension, there is something there. So again, the Arcturians are on the right. Look in the bottom left-hand corner, nothing is there. So it hasn't completely come through. The Arcturians on the right again. Look in the bottom left-hand corner, and there we now have a full-blown house with the light on it that exists in another dimension. Now, here are the angels. The angels are always bright white bodies of light, but they also have bright primary colors to them. As you can see here, the bright yellow. The angels are unnaturally bright lights. They're really beautiful. And here you can see the orange and then the teal and the purple around this angel. They appear in the third dimension as this being of light. These beautiful angels, again, bright primary colors. When I saw them, I asked for Archangel Gabriel to appear. And here is Archangel Gabriel, which is who I work with when I'm doing readings for people. And you see the angel beside Gabriel with the bright blue. This is ectoplasma. So when I go into a haunted area where ghosts are, I do ghost tours, you see this kind of residual energy that I simply call ectoplasma. It kind of morphs and shifts and moves all around. It's not stationary whatsoever. It will follow me as I walk through a haunted house or a haunted area. I was outside at this time in a haunted field. This is the ectoplasma in somebody's yard. And here is some people on a ghost tour. Very famously haunted cemetery here in Sedona. And you can capture this kind of energy. Here is the ghost. There's different types of ghosts. They take different forms. This is what I call residual energy. So it has the shape of a human, but it's really just it's kind of like a signature that the ghost left behind. But I do have apparitions as well that we'll be coming to. This is Enoch, my main master guide. Huge beings of light. I can go outside every night and call in the beings of light from the different star families, and anytime you see the beings of light come in, all of the orbs are going to be with them as well. So this is a combination of orbs and star people. More of the green energy that you see is from Sirius B. And look how quickly I can just fill up the night sky. Star people, orbs, beings of light. Probably 1,000 of them there. But they're around us at all times. You just got to acknowledge that they're there, and they'll show up. Same thing with the elementals. The elementals will show up as long as you acknowledge that they're there. We're all telepathic, and so when you're using your telepathy, the beings of light come in. So I tell people where to point their camera so that they can get these pictures. So here you see two different members of the stars. The green is Sirius and the orange down there is Mantis. Two of the main groups that I work with, as well as Arcturian. The arrows are pointing to the blue ships, that's Arcturian. And then Mantis is the orange ship right up above. The rest are orbs. So you can see the Arcturians are down more at my level, always protecting me. Mantis is just hovering right above. This is star people coming into our dimension. And so this is how I see them as they begin to come into the third dimension. Since there's such huge beings of light, that's why you basically can only see the light. So this is once again filling up the sky with star people, but there's some angels in there as well, orbs, elementals that travel in the ships. So the bright white ones are going to be more angelic. The ones that are faded, that's more orbs. Again, two higher dimensional beings coming in third dimensional form. Look at the colors. There's Sirian and Mantis, Arcturian. Okay, so this is a very sacred rock to the Hopi. This rock is called Cochino Rock here in Boynton Canyon in Sedona, Arizona. There is a prophecy called the Blue Star Prophecy that was given to the Hopi as a warning to say when all life on Earth is going to be destroyed, Cochino Rock will fall. And that will give the Hopi their warning that they need to make their way back into the Grand Canyon, down at an entrance by the river to where the ant people will be there to open the door and bring them into their underground city while all life on Earth is destroyed and renewed. So we have had all life on Earth destroyed 3 times. Once by ice, next by fire, the last one was by water. All 3 times the Hopi were given a prophecy, basically as a sign, a signal, a warning. Okay, when this happens, you have a certain amount of time to make it back to the doorway where the ant people will open it up and you'll come inside, live with them once again until it's safe to come back on Earth. This time, The blue star prophecy is stored in this very sacred rock, Kachina rock right here. It's got a human body and a bird head. And when the next time that all life on Earth is going to be destroyed is going to be by a planetary object. Something will happen in the sky. Most likely the sun will blow up, burn out. And so I climbed on Mescal Mountain behind Kachina, and I looked down on Kachina and I said, if the blue star prophecy is true, and that when Kachina rock falls, that gives all of us will know all life on Earth is going to be destroyed, show me the blue star. And there is the blue star. Star people, so you'll see the oranges is mantis, the blue Arcturian, white angelic, green is Cirrus. They're very colorful. Look at this, beautiful. These are very high vibrational beings full of unconditional love and compassion that are telling us we want to be among you. We want to help you evolve, raise your consciousness. That's what their purpose is. They're down here with us. We are all one big star family. You can see the beautiful angels here. The bright white lights are angelic. Syrians, beautiful green lights. All beings are beings of light, as so are we. We just don't see ourselves that way any longer. But they're here to say you are, and we're bringing you back. This is what I call a tall engineer. It's a tall gray. And as we zoom in on him, his head looks very skinny because his head is turned. But you can see his shoulders, arms, his body, and in the grass there you can see his legs. So they're members of my star family, and they've always introduced themselves to me as the tall engineers. This is a very tall, about 12-foot being that I saw, and I was able to catch his hand coming into the third dimension. I wasn't able to catch his entire body. More star people all around us. Every night I go out, and this is what I can make happen. I'm telepathic, and so I just ask them to come in, surround us with love, protection, high vibration, very healing. When people go out with me on these type of UFO tours, there's a lot of healing that takes place. And their psychic ability opens as well. Their telepathic ability begins to open. So this is what these are what I call travelers. So these are the beings that are flying into the third dimension. You can literally see them flying into the third dimension in their light bodies, not necessarily in ships. That's the energy that's around us all the time. And if you take time to really quiet yourself, ask for their presence to be known to you, you will feel them. There's a lot of angelic around at this time. We are literally going through a raising of the consciousness. That's why they're down here all around us, because they want to help us. We haven't been evolving, and it's time. It's time now to join the star family and raise the consciousness, the vibration on Mother Earth and all of the humans. It's time to start fighting. It's time to grow up and evolve. And that's their message to us. Raise your consciousness. Let go of fear. This is the rainbow body. And there's a lot of talk about the rainbow body, which is basically you ascending into the rainbow body. And when I asked the rainbow body to show up, it happily did so. Now, this is an alien gray. I've got the arrow pointed to his left eye, and then you can see the right eye. Once you see the two large almond-shaped eyes, you can make out his head, his neck, and his body. We changed the contrast a little bit to see if maybe you can see it better in this light, but he's there. After you get used to looking at him, he's clearly there. Here, you can see the buffalo. To the left, coming past that tree right there, there is a buffalo. And right in front of the buffalo is a little Hopi Indian. She stands about 4 feet tall. Her face is looking down towards the ground. She looks very sad. You can see her black hair with braids wrapping around her round face. She has her hands in her pocket, and then you see the bottom, the Hopi design at the bottom of her dress. The buffalo is very, very visible. And just look right in front of the buffalo. He is looking at his Hopi spirit that he is protecting. So she's stuck in our dimension, and you can see the star people are around her, protecting her as well. This is the famous condemned, it was once a hospital, it's now condemned. There's nobody in it except spirits. So you'll see the flash of the door here on the right. You'll see the flash of my camera. There is a curly Q energy, which I call vortex, and the apparition, his head is kind of tilted towards that curly Q image. You can see he has black hair. You'll see his black eyes, his black mustache. He's bare-chested, he's got a black coat on and black pants. The one that's easier to see is to the left. Is a man sitting down. He has a green shirt and a white tie. You can see one of his white suspenders, his white pants. His face is blurry, but you can clearly make out there was a body sitting there on the bottom left-hand corner of the window. This is just kind of creepy. That window is not broken, and that is an energy that was able to come through that window towards me. And again, this is at that famous haunted building, probably one of the most haunted buildings in America, in Jerome, Arizona. This is an energy that I captured at a cemetery, so when I go on ghost tours, I catch a lot of energies like this. This is the shadow people. You can kind of make out a face, but again, it's not, you don't really see features on the face because shadow people don't have features. Now, as we blow up the guy on the left, this is vortex energy, and these are spirits tapping into the vortex energy. They know how to use it, and you can clearly make out his face. He's got like a high collar coat on and some type of head dressing. I call him a time traveler. I think he's from another time. This is vortex energy. So at nighttime, when you're walking around the cemetery here in Sedona, where I do the ghost tours, you can see this vortex energy because that's what the spirits are connecting into to stay strong. Beautiful picture of vortex energy. If you thought Sedona didn't have vortexes, here it is. And if you really look at it, you can see some faces in there, especially the one on the bottom to the left of the screen. You can see several faces in the vortex energy. Now, this is what I call the impossible. I don't think anybody has ever captured this. This is a shadow person. They talk a lot about shadow people on any type of paranormal show. This is a shadow person, which is, he's not in the right dimension. He has slipped out of his dimension into our dimension. So here in front of him is a man in black. And if you see, the man is standing there. You see the ship, the solid structure right above him. The ramp is down. It has lit steps, kind of like in Close Encounters of the Third Kind when the ramp came down and the aliens walked down. Same kind of vision that we're looking at here. And then the man in black is standing there, his arms are crossed. You can see his white shirt, skinny black tie, and he's got a flat head with black hair. So that is actually a man in black coming and picking up a shadow person to take him back into the dimension he belongs in. Think of the Bermuda Triangle. He simply fell out of his dimension. Actually, that happens a lot. Okay, again, more vortex energy. And this time it has some color to it, which I love when we see that. But you see the black, solid Stargate right there. So when anything wants to come into our dimension, be it elemental, be it a star person, be it Bigfoot, anything, any dimensional traveler, they can use a vortex energy to make a Stargate, and that's how they travel through. Think of a Stargate as an elevator in between dimensions. I was lucky to catch this. This is Stargates in the daytime. Another Stargate energy there. You can see a little bit of light around it. Okay, so here I tuned in to a Syrian ship in the water there, and I talk to him often. I just call him Tim, but he's around me all the time. He actually calls me his MacBook because he's monitoring me all the time, and he's looking through my eyes at everything that I'm doing, and he's in communication with me often. And so I asked him, can you show me the making and the transportation through a Stargate? So here, the first picture is the beginning of a Stargate. And the second picture, now we come to the completion of the Stargate. And after the completion of the Stargate, we come to transport. So you see the solid ship that Tim is in. He's in a little carrier ship off the mothership. He hangs out mostly in the mothership, but he was in a carrier ship having a field trip, if you will. You see the electromagnetic frequencies underneath of him. That's his propulsion field, which again, looks like vortex. When I saw this picture, I was aware that they were connecting with the vortex. So you see at the bottom, the vortex energy. And I knew that they used that vortex energy to make a wormhole. So I see the ship right there, but I wanted to see the wormhole. So I asked them, hey, back up, show me the wormhole. And here you can see the wormholes with the ships of light coming through it. So those wormholes were made just directly over my head. We're talking treetop level. I was able to see those wormholes. Here's another wormhole with the type of ship that I simply call the ribbon. Ships come in all sizes, all colors, various shapes, and they can morph at any time. This is where I'm camping, and I'm aware that that cloud over my camp has a UFO, and so it was being very cloaked by the cloud. So I tuned into the occupant of the UFO, and I said, decloak the cloud so I can see what type of ship I'm dealing with. And as it decloaks, you see the solid black triangle right there. The cloud's completely decloaked, and the solid ship is right there above. And you see him right there at treetop level. That tree's not a big tree. This is them playing with me, so I asked them to make me a Southwest UFO, and there is a saguaro cactus right over the mountain range there. And look at that beautiful yellow field. So that actually, the yellow and the orange is mantis, and so that's them being playful with me. This is what a UFO looks like as it's coming in. So you can see it's pretty close. There's that rock right there. That's not at the top of a mountain. I'm just standing in front of some rocks here in Sedona, and that is what a ship looks like. It's like a fireball. It literally looks like a ball of fire flying over your head, which I have happened to me every single week while I'm on UFO tours. Now, the bright light in the top left-hand corner is not the moon, that's a ship. And again, that's what they look like. And you'll see when there's the ship, it has a auric field, which is actually a propulsion field, and different colors. And that's orange, that's mantis coming in. Now that is the moon. The big, bright light that you see is the moon. What we're looking at is to the right, towards the bottom at about 5 o'clock, that's the UFO. Now we're gonna watch that move around Courthouse Rock here in Sedona. Now it's above the moon. Back down. And there it is, the pink and the white light down on Courthouse. So then I asked the pilot of the ship, follow me into the canyon where it's dark, where the moon's not up yet, because I wanted to see what type of ship it was and to get on board. So this is the ship. Now I'm out dark in the canyon. The ship is now coming towards me. Here, the ship is down on the ground, and you can see it's an unnaturally bright white light. And you'll see, so you see the front window what's facing me, and then you'll see the window right behind it, and you can see the insignia right there on the ship. And there it is, just spinning in a different direction. You can see the bright white light, you see the insignia, the second window, but then further down, you see how big it is because there's more insignia down here on the ship. So it was a rather large craft that was down with me. So these lights that are coming in, that's not the moon. I don't take pictures of the moon except for the one on Courthouse. But here, that's a ship coming in, and you'll see it moving around as it approaches us. It's a different location next to that tree. Here's a ship coming in. And notice the treetops. These guys are below treetop. Okay, this video, I picked this video out because of a couple of things. One, you see how low, it's just going over treetop, and honestly our trees are not large here. They're all junipers, they do not grow that, they're not like the redwoods. But more importantly, you're gonna see a blinking light, which is a plane. So I purposely captured the blinking light to show you the difference between the UFO and the plane. Now, the ships can morph, so they will come as like usually a ball or a sphere of light coming in, but once they come in, they're hovering overhead, they morph into different sizes and shapes. So you can see the morphing here. This is a stargate. This kind of energy, this red line is often within a stargate. So this is a large sphere from Orion. You see that bright blue energy? That tells me that this sphere is from Orion. This again is another impossible picture. How I got that red background with the yellow sphere in it is just interesting. It's nothing that I know how to make happen. I just take pictures at nighttime. Again, that ball of fire flying in, that's what the ships look like when you're actually outside on a UFO tour and I ask for a flyby right overhead. You can see how it's right over the treetops, and when you see the light, you can tell it's just not a natural light. It's got an energy to it because it's so bright. It's brighter than what fire is, but you can actually feel that it's a living light. These are all more ships coming in. Here's a ship of light, which is also a ship of consciousness. So all these light ships are consciousness ships. As I explained as I get onto our tours, your consciousness connects with this ship, and you become one with the ship, one with the other occupants in it, and together you all pilot the ship. So this is a ship that landed on the ground right beside me so that I could join in, step in, and go for a ride. And yes, I am known as a frequent flyer. This is a sphere coming in, and you can see that it's coming in towards me, and then as it comes to land right beside me, you see the three right here. More ships coming in. Oftentimes there'll be two colors, so you'll see that red and the white in the middle. That's very common for the ships to always have two colors to them. This is a ship where you see the orange, the white in the middle, and then the red. Now, this is Sirian. The green is Sirian, and the pink is Pleiadian. So this is a ship that's out of my screen, but what I'm capturing here is the propulsion field. I also think of it as an auric field. Ship at the top right hand of the screen coming in, and that's a ship also coming towards the car. Again, morphing, the different colors. That's exactly what the UFOs look like when they're down on the ground. This is just ships morphing into different shapes and sizes. These star people are all around. As the ship before me, you see this bright white light is coming down. So you see the star people first, and then you see the bright light there coming down. And as it's coming down, it's coming through a stargate. So I captured the stargate here. You see the wavy black with the red line going forward. That is Stargate right there. Here's a sphere on the ground, and it's you see my Jeep right over here to the left. So the sphere is orange, this is Mantis, and you see the what looks like little musical notes coming out to the left of there. That's what I call a transmission. Look at the bright white lights. These are angelic and all kinds of star people all around. Again, morphing into different shapes, different colors, different sizes. You see the bright white, and it's got two different lights on it. On the top of it is that bright blue, Orion, and then you see the Mantis. The orange is Mantis. Now there's the sphere. It's down closer to the ground. This is the transmission. I have a recording of this. More transmission, so the transmission comes through as a frequency. So think of these as frequencies, which again, bodies of light. So here on the right, you see the white light. I can tell that there is a metallic sphere. So I know what I'm dealing with, so I'm asking it to stop spinning and land on the ground. Here, look at all the angels, but on the right It's spinning a little slower. I can see it has a sphere with a dome. So here it is in front of me. You see the sphere, you see the dome, you see the propulsion field underneath. So I asked it to quit spinning and go ahead and land so I can safely come on board. There, it's down on the ground. It's slowing down. So the lights are blurred, so it's coming to a stop. Here it is at a complete stop. You can see the distance between me and the ship. And I asked for all radiation or any type of magnetic fields to be turned off so that I could safely approach and come on board. And there's the ship that I came on board. And to the right, that's a transmission, again, which I have recorded. But here you can see the sphere with the dome. This is once I got off. There's a transmission that I'm recording as I'm walking away and the ship's getting ready to leave. Now this is them in the sky, again, morphing white light. That's what they look like when they're in the sky, because they're spinning so fast. It's just it's a propulsion field of light. Further in the sky, morphed into a different shape. That's their way of playing with me. Okay, so this is where I go for UFO tours. I'm basically across the street from Sedona High School. There is a hill behind Sedona High School that's probably about 5 stories high. It's called Schuerman Hill. This is where this UFO is, and I get UFOs here every single night. And so it's only about 2/10 of a mile from where I'm standing. So, and you can see the treetop right there. So this is low in the ground. Now this is, you see the flashing that's coming in, that's a carrier ship. So as this ship is moving, that flashing ship is a carrier ship which is going to merge and then come out. So this is a beautiful UFO. And again, I could walk to where this UFO is in about 15 minutes from where I'm taking this picture. So this is a ship down on the ground, more transmission. What you're looking at, the orange is a sphere, and that's a transmission that's coming out. But it is on the ground on a UFO tour right beside us. Here is a sphere, bottom left-hand corner. Again, it's landing. You can see it's about midway from the tree. And again, this green with the white inside of it. The ships are typically, this is a Syrian ship. And so this is a transmission from a Syrian ship that, again, I've recorded. Nice bright ship at treetop level. These are more angels and star people. And look at the alien gray face in the center of the ship. Here, I can just go out in somebody's yard and call in the ships of light and get them to land. You see one on the ground and one below treetop level. Now this ship presents itself in front of this tree because its propulsion field, as you can see, is blocking out the tree. So they do have a propulsion field. This is a little car going by. It's actually a carrier ship. 2 ships coming out of Bear Mountains. This is the mountain range that we're looking at when I take people out on UFO tours here in Sedona. And as you can see, the ships come in different shapes. This has more of an octagon shape. Orion, bright blue. Okay, here in this video, instead of hearing my voice is completely cut out, and what you will hear is a transmission that I simply call contact. So this UFO appeared right over Schuerman Hill, about 1/10 of a mile in front of me, about 5 stories high. Just a bright white light appeared, and then the contact. There it goes. is this bright light in the sky. Okay, there we go. Bright light in the sky right there. This is a UFO. You see how big he is? He moved a long ways away from us very quickly.
Yeah.
I mean, look, he is going so damn fast. You can't really tell how, now I kept seeing. Is he gone? He just disappeared. I can see him a little bit in the, now look at that flashy that just came in right there. They always see that.
Text that to me?
Yeah, I will.
Okay.
SedonaUFO.com. Okay, what you've just been experiencing is the paranormal. And honestly, I don't think it's so paranormal because this stuff is around us all the time. My job is to go out every night and I just snap photos. I snap photos in the pitch blackness in the air. And this is the stuff that you've been seeing. So it's not so paranormal, it's normal, it's around us all the time. The star people are here. That's the UFOs that I see every night. They are ships of light. They are actually ships of consciousness. And I'm telepathically connected to them. I'm a frequent flyer with them. And my role at this time with the star people is to simply say they're here. There's nothing scary. They're higher dimensional beings, very, very compassionate, full of unconditional love. And they're here to support us, to help us grow, to heal, to evolve. It's our star family. We've always been connected. We've never been disconnected, but we simply forgot. We forgot about them. We forgot about our family, and our family includes the elementals, the elves, the fairies that you saw. It's around us all the time. So my role is disclosure happens by the people. The government is not going to disclose. It's going to be us, the people, becoming aware that yes, the star people are around us all the time. Yes, the UFOs are here. It's not War of the Worlds. There's nothing scary. It's not Hollywood. We're talking about evolution. We're talking about growing up. Stop the war, stop the fighting, and create a planet that's more cleaner, greener, more sustainable. It's time to heal our planet. It's time to grow up, to heal, to evolve, to reclaim our powers. We're all clairvoyant, we're all clairaudient, clairsentient, telepathic beings. And this is the universal language of the star people, the elementals. It's time to take back our position and our role with the universal family. And that is what disclosure is all about. All of us just reclaiming our powers. We don't need to wait for the government to disclose. The people know. And it's time that we all come together and we talk about it in a peaceful, mature, spiritual conversation, having a conscious conversation about the bigger picture. SedonaUFO.com